Hey, I am the poet and composer Andrew Lloyd Fry, and today I'm going to be talking about my poem entitled Grocery Store. This is from my release, Some Things Scattered Around. So the context for this poem, and actually just thinking about it, realizing actually there's a lot of poems in this book that this is the context, where it was a season where I was evaluating what was my heart posture towards strangers, just like kind of like positive, negative, just kind of like putting it on that spectrum. People I'm not interacting with, even just like I know nothing about them. I'm just at the grocery store and this person's next to me, and there was a lot of awareness realizing that almost all that was negative, just like default. It's like I don't like going to the grocery store, and I think it's because like all this negativity towards the people around me. And as I received, or as I was like getting this awareness that was my stance, that was like my default mode of operating, there was a desire to change that. And I want to be less critical. I want to be less judgmental. I want to be more loving, and loving in a sense of like valuing and celebrating people around me, even if we don't talk or have any sense of relationship. So it's just this idea of like, oh, I'm doing a really bad job at this, and I want to take steps to be like a healthier person. So it's called Grocery Store, and it's not a specific moment in time. It's kind of just like, it's not like, oh, this day I went to the grocery store and this happened. It's more of this general experience of the grocery store, and that being this, that feels like the quintessential place to like test that kind of thing for some reason. Okay, so I'm just going to read some little snippets of it and then talk about some of it. I am beginning to realize you have been almost invisible to me, and all I can see are these little bits of your painted shell. So just right there, this idea of like obviously I'm not seeing you through reality, and I'm seeing you through like my weird unhealthiness, and even just like seeing a person and like, do we value them? And all we're going off of is like their external, so like the painted shell, which is very superficial and very hard not to do. Often I'm slipping into that trap. Okay, so the next part. I have just been able to see your gray thinning hair, or your white shoes, or your long brown hair hanging out of the back of your baseball cap, with your sunglasses resting on the brim. So here, I feel like that line's could definitely be a little bit confusing, because it's like it's changing people, and it's just like, here's these different people I have seen, and it's not like one person changing, a view of, oh, here's an old man and here's a not old man. And there's this line about the sunglasses resting on the brim of the baseball cap. And that line specifically came from an experience where I realized there was somebody that I like casually know through work. And literally I realized that they wore glasses on the rim of their baseball cap. And I thought poorly of them because of that, which is just like, there's so many things we're just like unaware of that is affecting how we view people. And it's just like, that is so superficial and so silly. And so that just, I wanted to like insert that into this poem. Okay, so skipping ahead, I see the paint, and in a moment make up my mind, even though I couldn't see the color of your eyes. So the idea, the color of your eyes is this idea of individuality and value. And before this, I had a dream it was kind of like this, I don't know, like government-controlled society, kind of like futuristic government-controlled society. And one of the things they did was they like you, to be in the society, they would take you and do something where your eyes would lose their color. So everyone just had like black eyes. And I thought that was this really potent symbol of individuality and value. So I wanted to put it in here. Okay, and then skipping ahead, I'm just going to go over a couple more things and then I'll read it all together. And all I could see was that you were tall. All I could see was that you were of average height. All I could see was the decorations on the table, the plate, the fork and knife, the tablecloth and the empty glass. But the food was invisible to me. So here in the poem, there's this really big transition from talking about people to talking about a table setting with no food. And I really like there's this like sense of surprise where it's like, okay, you're talking about this, and now we're now we're talking about something completely different. And it's just continuing the symbolism of judgment and confidence in our opinions of people when we really have no information, in this idea of a table setting and we're not seeing the food, and we're not, there's no information other than a plate and a fork and a knife, and we're very confident whether this will be a good meal or not. So that's kind of the symbolism there. Okay, so now I'm going to read through the whole thing. Again, this is grocery store from Some Things Scattered Around. I'm beginning to realize you have been almost invisible to me. And all I can see are these little bits of your painted shell. I have just been able to see your gray thinning hair, or your white shoes, or your long brown hair hanging out of the back of your baseball cap, with your sunglasses resting on the brim. I see a glimpse of your clean-shaven face and of your trimmed beard, which is black and brown and gray and occasionally white. I see the paint and in a moment make up my mind, even though I couldn't see the color of your eyes. When you were talking, I heard the words. I saw the movement of your mouth, but your eyes were invisible to me. And more bits of you began to fade away. And all I could see was that you were tall. All I could see was you were of average height. All I could see was the decorations on the table, the plate, the fork and knife, the tablecloth, and the empty glass. But the food was invisible to me. And in a moment, I made up my mind. In a moment, I knew if it was worthy, simply by the color and design along the rim of the dinner plate.